Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Lashad, and we're working on the tank in the Mastering All Roles series. Now, I know what you're thinking, Vlad, that is such a cool mount. Well, if you want that mount too, you can watch my 1-minute guide on getting Thrayer Eyes of the Siren. It's probably linked somewhere in the description. If not, just click on my channel and find it. I will also take this opportunity to remind you that you can vote for what class, or specifically what spec I play for each of the other roles. Healer, melee DPS, and ranged DPS. Just check out the description. And one more thing before we get started is you can also choose which of those roles I will be playing next. There is a YouTube poll up. You can click on the top link in the description and choose which role I play next. With that out of the way, let's get started thinking about what exactly we want to do on this character. Now, I have a key. It is a +4 Grim Batol. Not particularly interested in that, as we've already timed that, and I have to get started on like 6s and 7s now to get to that 2k rating that I talked about, because that's the ultimate goal for the series. Because of 2000 rating, you get Keystone Master. Now, two things I haven't commentated yet fully on this series is Arakara and Dawnbreaker. So let's take a look if we can find one of those. To be completely honest with you, I'd rather do Dawnbreaker because I did Arakara in the last one and I kind of mentioned doing it. But I guess we'll see what we end up doing. We have a 6 to 7. And we're looking for, oh, look at that, look at that. They need a tank, I'm a tank. It just works out. It's just perfect. There's another Dawnbreaker group here that I'd like to join. And I'm looking for 7s because I want to get as much rating as possible, as quickly as possible. They're not particularly interested in me as a tank, considering I'm only 610 item level. They're probably a little bit pessimistic about the quality of tanks they've been getting. Because honestly, mostly it's just newer people playing tank right now, because anyone with a lot of experience is probably pretty disappointed in the state of tanks right now. Not to say that there's no good tanks around, but there's fewer than there used to be, and it's never been more punishing for new tanks to start playing than right now. Maybe I think season 1 of Shadowlands, people had a lot of opinions about how the game was tuned and how tanking was tuned, but yeah. All right, we're gonna start looking at these +6 Dawnbreakers just to get something done. I'll start queuing for Arakaras if it's the absolute must-do sort of situation, and I don't have a Dawnbreaker to queue for. But I think that's enough looking at LFG. We're going to go ahead and just continue the video once I'm in a dungeon with a group. Okay, no pull timer, no nothing. Oh, shut up, Solitaire. You're too loud. They need to set some kind of, like, setting for her. Alright, well, we're gonna get started. We pull this into this by interrupting the first one, and then we just slam the crap out of these. So what we're looking for is interrupts on either Enduring Shadows or basically anything that the Shadow Mages cast we want to interrupt. Enduring Shadows, what you can also do is freedom it. I do believe it removes it completely. So we're going to interrupt the other thing since we can still freedom the one thing. I asked the group to Bloodlust the second pull once we get on the ship. Hopefully the hunter was paying attention and will actually do so. I'm going to use one of our holy words of glory, of holiness. Word of glory, that's the one. Yeah, there we go. We're going to use that to heal up whoever was low. I think it was the healer. It doesn't even matter. So how to pull this is you interrupt the Shadow Mage, and then you immediately go to the left so that everything starts stacking up. There we go. I'm going to use a defensive here. I'm going to bubble, actually, but just because I want to have aggro available. We're going to interrupt this. We're going to sack this person. Beautiful. And now we Divine Toll. Keep aggro on everything. Nice. Keep our Sacred Armaments rolling. We did Bloodlust this. That worked out perfectly. I prefer to Bloodlust this, especially when it's fortified. So whenever it's fortified weak, plus whenever it is key level 10 or higher, obviously. We're going to keep interrupting these guys. The Abyssal Howl. There we go. Again, key thing is interrupt, interrupt, interrupt. All right, we're just going to go ahead and break all of these, and now we can fly. We're going to go to that ship in front of us first. We're going to use big defensive here because they will smack the crap out of us early on. I didn't have anything rolling other than none of my active mitigation ready to go. So I just used my big defensive, the Guardian of Ancient Kings. We do have someone who has gone down. I do believe it's probably because they fell through the map. That tends to happen because, you know, a small indie company can't fix floor clipping when you're flying into it and stuff. I guess because this thing is moving and then there's interactions with that. I don't know. It's just a little bit annoying that it's been a full season of that and they haven't fixed it. But it's probably too difficult and too big of a time commitment to fix, so they haven't done it. As players have learned to sort of play around it, which is do not dismount until your like feet are on solid ground. All right, so with the mobs we just fought, the big Nerubian, you don't have to kick him, kick the other guy. The other guy is a lot worse because he can actually target others than the tank. So you don't want him to do that. You don't want him to be able to get away with that. We're going to kick the Abyssal Howl. You should have the Web Bolt kick available with our Avenger Shield. I do have the Blood Elf Racial available to take care of these orbs. Somebody else was on top of it already, so that's nice. When the this ability goes off, which is about to in a second here, what we can do is Bursting Cocoon is going to go on this person. If you freedom them, they will not take damage. Thanks Seeker for that tip. He pointed it out to me. I didn't know that there was a dot component to it. I guess I was just always being healed up a whole crap ton and never noticed it. And here we are with the first boss. The biggest pain point for this boss as a tank is when the big lines are going out, what you need to do is use a defensive. So make sure you use a defensive when that's happening, otherwise you will be in for a world of hurt. Here's the Obsidian Beam. We're going to use a defensive. As you can see, through the defensive, it still chunked me for about 30% of my HP on a non-tyrannical fight. You can imagine this is pretty powerful otherwise. Now, our ranged DPS is really good. What they're doing is they're stacking over there. So when the big circles go out, the circles are stacked over there, and they can just both leave, and it's fine. I'm going to send out some heals. Going to send out this. Now, one issue that you can run into with the DPS that don't do this sort of range stacking is they could be like on split ends like this. Oh, we're going to use wings, I guess. I don't know. I needed to use something sooner. I wasn't paying attention to that. I was trying to commentate. So another issue that can happen is we're going to go ahead and just use blind on these once they're all stacked up. There we go. Blind's out. We can get out. So like I said, it always goes on range. So if you have only one ranged, it will default to one melee. So if that's something you need to look out for, right? So look out for group composition. That circle is like the biggest pain point of this fight for the rest of the group. Here, the range was pretty close. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move away the boss as far away from those as possible. We're going to use Ardent Defender here, make sure that doesn't one-shot us. I'm going to help out with some healing because this there's a debuff, a magic debuff that gets applied to a random person, and when it's dispelled, everyone gets a heal absorb that is also a dot, so that needs to be this like healed up as quickly as possible. We're kind of in a tough spot here because our range came closer in that direction. I'm going to use a Guardian of Ancient Kings, make sure I'm nice and healthy. I think the boss should be dead here. But yeah, as you can see, just a few things to look out for here. Key things as a tank is to get people away from this. And then other than that, what you need to do is... Oh, I need to... Where is this person? Where's our healer? Okay, well, I'll trust him to heal himself. I'm going to ping. I'm trying to ping over there. You can see that the game is just not letting me. Jesus Christ. Stupid piece of shit. Ping system almost killed me. It literally almost killed me. All right, well, we're gonna go big right off the bat here. Use a defensive, group everything up. Divine Toll, keep everything interrupted. Darkcaster over there, we're gonna interrupt it again. Heal myself. We're gonna go ahead and use what's it called, Eye of Tear, to make sure that I'm nice and healthy. Interrupt that beam, group them all up. Okay, and now we're gonna bubble because there's still a lot of this pull left, and I am not at full health, not as healthy as I'd like to be. Okay, building up resources as much as I can to be ready for when my bubble runs out. It has run out. Make sure I'm nice and healthy. There we go. Okay. Now next pull is these guys upstairs. We're going to interrupt this one and pull this one. He doesn't care about line of sight for some reason, so we're going to kick him again. And then when we have another Avenger's Shield available, we're going to kick that guy in the back. There we go. Okay. Ardent Defender is now finally up. We're going to give shield to this person, heal this person, kick that tormenting something or the other, and there we go. These pulls are pretty intense. Lots of mobs to interrupt. As a prod paladin, it's very doable. As a group that actually knows how to interrupt, it's also very doable. So these pulls are okay. They're just a bit intense on the setting up side, so do be very careful. There's a lot of running around and moving these mobs around, so make sure that you have a defensive rolling while you're doing that. With this guy, what I like to do is just shove myself into a corner and then just let other people deal with moving away. They see that I'm in a corner, they know that I can't get out of there, not easily at least, so they have to move away from me. I think that the Demon Hunter didn't quite get the memo. Now, as far as our heals are concerned, if you don't need them for yourselves, use them on whoever has this dot. Obviously, they'll be the only ones taking damage. If you're pulling something along with this mini boss, that's a little bit rough. I wouldn't recommend that. Terrifying Slam is a defensive opportunity. I don't think I need it whenever I'm at full health. I don't think I really need it until the very high key levels. So probably not in this series. is what I'm trying to say. But it is definitely a spot where you should be looking to use a defensive of some sort. Okay, that's the boss dead, or mini boss I should say. We still pull more. So we have the double shadow here, and I think I'm about to make it a triple shadow by pulling these guys, and we're gonna fight them right here. There we go. I have tier. Oh, we pulled those over there. I have bubble available again. We're going to give CR to this person. They already released. This is a rough pull because we accidentally pulled more over there, which is really, really annoying. But we're going to focus on this guy, the Dark Caster, because we can keep interrupting him. So as long as we target him, we can keep that from causing more issues. We're going to use a blind now. I'm going to use my absorb as well. Fermenting beam, we're going to interrupt with this. We're going to heal this person that has the dot. Okay, so far so good. Demon Hunter is back. He's scared of the swirlies. He's waiting on the side. He's using his abilities to be able to go in there and just kick ass. Okay, hopefully. There we go. Whew, that was rough. Very tough pull. Demon Hunter pulls again. We're going to be over count. I don't know where to drop count at this point, so I think we're just going to have to deal with the fact that we have over count and accept the fact that maybe this isn't a good spot to pull these guys, especially with a Havoc Demon Hunter in the group, because the Havoc Demon Hunter will always just jump back into these mobs on the side. So that's something I need to look into as far as this route is concerned. But yeah, there's another popular route that I know of, which is Yoda's route, where he skips mobs in the church because the tacticians kill tanks, but that's for super high keys. This, I think, is perfectly viable for a lower keys. Here's how do we decay. We're going to go ahead and give sack to our healer. This person... People keep pulling shit. It's kind of annoying. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to skip anymore. So this is going to be interesting. We're going to use our shield here. I do have bubble available. People need to be a little bit more careful. I have blind in a few, but I'm not able to do that just yet. I can do something. I should have looked for a lay on hands there rather than looking at the orbs, but the orb buff on the big boss is pretty rough because of the giant AoE that the big boss does. You gotta make sure I point these black edges or these frontals away from the rest of my group. Heal myself up, heal this person up. Healer's doing a great job this run. Really enjoying this healer. Shadowy Decay is coming out. We're gonna heal the other person, and we're gonna use IF tier. Very nice. Wow, this healer is amazing. Holy shit. My mom is calling me right now. I can't, Mom. I'm sorry. I'm doing dungeons. I'm pushing rating. Pushing rating isn't even 2K. Alright, we're gonna send heals into this person as best we can. There we go. That should keep them alive. Otherwise, that might have ticked them down so low that the second I pull something taps them and they die. But we're going to go ahead and do this boss next, or mini boss next. Key thing here is use defensive as you run in, because you have to kind of turn your back to them a little bit. Now, I'm really hoping that the Demon Hunter doesn't pull the guys behind us, because I have a feeling he might. I'm going to lay on hands this person, keep interrupting the Shadow Mage. The Shadow Mage silenced if possible. Okay, that orb hit me. I'm not a huge fan of that. I'm gonna sack this person. I'm gonna bubble it off of myself. There we go. Dot on our healer. I don't need the heals for myself because I'm bubbled, so I'm gonna go ahead and just use it for recreational purposes. I don't know why that is where my brain went. I'm gonna heal our healer rather than using it for myself. I'm gonna move slightly backwards, getting a little too close to these mobs, so I'm gonna move him back into the tunnel. Keep ourselves safe. How did I get hit by that again? I do not know. I moved out of it as much as I could. Maybe I moved too late. I don't know. But that is something to look out for there. Dark Orb definitely has a hitbox behind, like in front of the mob as well. Our healer is basically dead. We're going to go ahead and res them immediately. They released. Okay, they can drop down to behind the boss. As you can see, we're at full count, and we still have the big Architect mob to kill. I'm going to go ahead and ping that I'm going to go here so people know where I'm going. I do that because I don't want to get knocked back into mobs, because the Terrifying Slam will knock me back. Basically, the boss uses all the abilities that the other mini bosses have. Okay, I could have used some Blessed Hammers just to build up some holy power before we started this. Okay, Demon Hunter needs to not send that orb into the wall there behind us. There is no saving that Demon Hunter. We're just going to let them die. Terrifying Slam's coming through. I'm going to use a big defensive, and then I'm going to... Okay, somebody else is CRing. We have two druids. It's easier for the DPS druids than it is for me. Shadowy Decay is coming through. I'm going to look to off-heal whoever I can. There we go. Healer kept us alive through it. That's good. We're going to help the healer out a little bit. Animated Shadows is going through. I need to send a Divine or Avenger Shield that way. Dark Orb is coming through. I'm really hoping I don't get hit by it or nobody else does either, because that could be potentially disastrous. Evading for some reason, Terrifying Slam coming through. I'm pressing defensives, but I can't find any available in the short amount of time I had to react to that. Big HPS coming out from the healer, keeping everyone nice and safe through that AoE. You can see on Fortified, this is doing a shit ton of damage. You can imagine how much it does on Tyrannical. Also, we're doing like, I guess, a first-person perspective of this because I'm up against the corner and just getting my face smushed. Okay, Animated Shadows coming through yet again. I'll have Divine Toll in just a second. We're going to use Divine Toll. That should grab aggro on everything. One isn't aggroed. There we go. I've been knocked back up against the wall. I'm not a huge fan of that. All of those have been taken care of. Dark Orb is coming out. We're sending it out into the ether. I don't think I'll get slammed anymore after this. Demon Hunter has this issue where he just stands in absolutely everything, so hopefully we're gonna just lay on hands here, make sure everyone stays alive, give shield to the Hunter, and that should be enough. We're gonna, I guess there's no real need to res. When he releases, he will be up on the ship, and that's exactly where we need to go. So as soon as I find it, had to turn around there to hopefully find it quicker. But we're looking really good. We're looking like a 2-star. As long as we don't have any catastrophic wipes. Hopefully the group is good about pulling or grabbing the bombs. Now, one thing to know about the bombs is you really shouldn't grab them until the finish, like until the cast of the dot is finished, the one that does like 3 waves or whatever. You're gonna look to heal our healer. That thing does so much damage. I have Divine Toll available. I'm going to use that like so. That should silence everything. And there we go. I used it a little bit too early because one of them activated a bit sooner than the rest of them. That was a little bit annoying, but it worked out. Keep interrupting things. Big stun there. I have the Avenger's Shield available. I'm going to use that to interrupt that guy in the background. Tormenting Beam is going off, but I don't want to use any CC on it. I moved a little bit. I think I kind of freaked out one of the melee DPS. Sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to do that. We're going to go ahead and send the Avenger's Shield on that guy in the background and kick this one that's closer. That way they will all stay grouped. We're going to blind here to prevent those from going off. Now we want to really avoid pulling the boss here until we've killed all of these, because these are going to keep casting, right? And also maybe the healer needs to drink before the boss fight. Key thing about this is, as a tank, stay in melee range or it's going to start casting a big old AoE and it's going to ruin your day. Okay, well, as a tank, other than staying in melee range, this boss is pretty boring. Just don't get hit by the wave, don't get hit by stuff. You can't go get the bombs in this phase. There's really not much to do. We're gonna go ahead and sack our healer, just make sure he's nice and safe. You see people are picking up the bombs, which is good. Obviously, you're supposed to pick up the bombs, but if you wait just a little bit, you can actually avoid taking extra damage, because when you carry the bombs, you take extra damage. You don't want to do that to your healer. That AoE is brutal. It does so much damage. We do have a second set of bombs that we need to utilize. Solitath yelling at me over there. I'm going to use my absorb and kick this. Don't need to kick anything on the boss. Just sending out my words of glory whenever I can. I have another one available. We'll use it on this person because they're carrying the bomb. And that should be all the bombs. Very good. Let's get out of here. Here, take one for the road, sucker. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, we're really far away from that spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to run, or rather fly, to the light over here at the church. If you fly through that, you will have enough time to actually reach that zone without having to follow Rashanan. If you don't do that, you sometimes might run out of time and just die mid-travel. Hopefully that doesn't happen to any of us. It doesn't seem to be happening to anyone, so all is well. What a good run. Holy shit. Some extra body pulls, but we handled it for the most part. Had a few deaths from it, but damn, you know, it's really nice. Yeah, this person's asking for a repair mount. It is impossible to get a repair mount in here because you can only do skyriding mounts once you have the thing that lets you skyride in combat and everything. So unfortunately, there is no mount that we can summon for that. I wish I had a repair hammer to help them, but I do not. We're going to give freedom to this person so they can get out of that thing as quickly as possible. I still don't know if that's the best thing to do, considering that there's damage that comes out when they get out of it, but I think that does more damage if they stay in it than if they stagger the, like, web breaks or whatever you want to call it. Use the erosive thingy. We're going to give sack to our healer. We're going to use these words of glory to make sure everyone's nice and healthy. Generally, I think this part of the boss fight is a little bit easier than the other one because there's no bombs to worry about, which make you take even more damage. We're going to blind these away. Okay, I kicked one. There was a bear roar coming in from star types, or star ipes. Starry Pest? I don't know. But that is the end of Mythic Dawnbreaker +7. There used to be a bug where right here at the end you would just die. It would, like the buff would run out and you would just die on the way to the ship, and that's so funny to me. I don't know why. Okay, let's see. Do we get any good loot? What loot spec am I? I am protection. I don't know what I get from protection in here. I would like a trinket. My trinkets are kind of poopy. Give trinket? No, I get a ring. What is the ring? Oh, hero ring with crit. I wouldn't mind that, actually. Thank you for the run. Can't trade. It's an upgrade. Sorry, buddy, I can't trade it to you. I would love to, but it's literally higher than level than the things I have. Grimbatol, if I reroll it, I could get something shitty like City of Threads, so I'm just going to keep Grimbatol +4. And we're going to push up that key to try, hopefully get the other keys to +6 or +7 or whatever I need to hit the rating. Speaking of hitting the rating, what I would like to do is between this episode and the next, I'm going to push up everything I need except for Arakara, and then make Arakara the last run and the end of the series. So if you want to decide what I play next, which role I play next, you should go and vote in the poll that's at the top of the description. It lets you pick whether I'm going to play a healer, ranged DPS, or melee DPS. There's also other straw polls available linked in the description where you can choose which specialization I play in those specific roles. For the specializations, you can vote once a day, but for the roles, you can only vote once. And I'm going to very soon decide to close that poll. Maybe not decide to close it. I'm just going to close the poll very soon because I would like to get started on leveling the character and recording the early footage. That does take a little while because I like to skip forward to when I'm ready to start going into dungeons. With Sirenelle, that's going to be a little bit faster, but I think that's pretty much it as far as this episode is concerned. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more episodes coming. And if you're feeling particularly generous, you can become a channel member. Channel members have guaranteed replays to their comments, and they get nice little shoutouts at the beginning of episodes. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.